In digital marketing, it's very evolving. So you learn new things every day.
AI answers and algorithm shifts. It's been a huge time of change, and it feels like the pace is just increasing.
I learned a lot as well because once you're a freelancer, you are your own boss. So you have to be more responsible. There's nobody that's going to be at your back. And you have to learn business skills as well because you have to be able to sell yourself.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you can really upskill yourself if you are hungry enough.
It has to start from you first before it goes to the client. If you can't market yourself, then you can't market a business. You can't market another client.
Hello, and welcome to South Africa Tech Marketers, where I uncover the journeys of marketers who are absolutely thriving in South Africa and beyond in the hope of helping you do the same. My name is Kirsty Lang. I'm a senior content writer in Cape Town, working for a tech company called Buffer, and I'm thrilled to be joined in my virtual studio by someone who is also bringing their marketing talent to the international stage. Before we get into that, this show is brought to you by the Global Talent Co., which aims to help marketers based in South Africa find their dream remote jobs at incredible tech companies all over the world. So if you're a marketer looking for your next gig, or you are looking to recruit some amazing South African talent, definitely check out their website. That's globaltalent.co, which I will include in the show notes as well. So joining me today is digital marketing consultant Norma Dlamini. Norma, thank you so much for making the time to chat today.
Thank you so much for having me as well, Christy. I'm actually very excited about this because I know that I'll be able to, share my journey and share what I've learned in my journey in digital marketing. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no, I really, really appreciate it. And also, you seem to have a huge breadth of experience and talent, which is what we're going to get into in this chat today. So I'd love to start by talking about your career journey so far. Tell us where you started and how you got to where you are today.
Okay, yeah. So it's a very funny journey actually, because growing up, I'd never thought I'd find myself here in digital marketing, content writing, all that. I actually never thought I'd find myself here because growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer. And unfortunately, when I was leaving high school, I didn't apply for university early. So when I went there, I had to take what was available. And what was available was a course in media and communication. So the plan was that I am going to actually change the following year, change to law. But as the year commenced, I was like, you know what, media and communication is not so bad. It's not so bad at all because it was a very diverse course. It involved journalism, TV, video, corporate communication, and all that. And on my second year, that's when I actually discovered digital marketing. I knew nothing about it at the time. That's when I discovered it. In one of the modules, actually, we had to do presentation and they gave us topics. And the group leader picked a topic for us in digital marketing. That's when I actually started paying attention to it. I became interested in it. I did a lot of research and I'm like, okay, this is not bad. I can work with this because actually I was a person that enjoyed social media so much. So when I saw social media there, your marketing or advertising, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Let me see, what this is. And, from there, I just started learning more about it. I was still doing my course that time. Started learning more about it, did some research, try to find out the pros and the cons and what it actually entails and all of that. And on my last year, I started applying for internships. And fortunately enough, when I was writing my final exams, I got an invite for an interview in Johannesburg. I studied at the University of Venda, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that. But yeah, I got for an interview in Johannesburg. It was a furniture company at the time. And I was just so excited that, okay, I'm finally actually gonna get to apply everything that I've been learning and trying to teach myself all these years practically now.
Yeah.
So I the interview and it actually went very well. I had one last paper remaining and I went back, wrote the paper, and then I moved to Joburg and I started working there. But I started with like a simple role, like social media management. I didn't know anything at that time. So luckily, everybody that was there was like holding my hand all the way, teaching
Oh, that's
me
lovely.
skills. Yes, the fundamentals of everything. I started with social media, and my social posts were actually doing well. And then they started training me on writing blog articles. It was actually very lovely, and I actually enjoyed writing blog articles. At the time, it was just about furniture, writing about a couch, writing about a coffee table, a chair, this and that.
That honestly
And
sounds like the dream.
not at all, not at all. But yeah, I actually enjoyed it because like it was something that I was doing for the very first time, and I was falling in love with it. You understand? So it was great. I worked there, I think, for about a year. And from there, I had like a bit of experience, not all the experience in the world, because, in digital marketing, it's very evolving. So you learn new things every day and you learn as you go. So I had a bit of experience, and that's when I started like applying for new jobs. I did get calls here and there. I left that company. I went to work for a certain college, and it was great because there now I had more responsibilities in my role. I had to start doing your lead generation via paid ads. So that was
Okay.
it was interesting for me. Yeah, I had to
That's
generate
super
leads.
technical.
Yes, yes. So that's when I actually took more responsibility, and within a year, I learned a lot actually because I kept on teaching myself as well, and there was a guy that was working there at that time that was also teaching me everything. Now we were moving to your SEO, everything that is like digital marketing. You understand? So it was great, and I think I worked there for about 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, or less. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, actually. But yeah, from there, I got another job. And, when I was at that job, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just look into something else as well, but within digital marketing. And that's when I came across freelancing. I think it was on Twitter, yeah, I think it was on Twitter at that time. And then when I saw somebody like posting about being a freelancer, the benefits and all that stuff, I was like, okay, let me look into this. And I looked into it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. And I gave it a try, and it's been great. It was actually great. And I learned a lot as well, because once you're a freelancer, you are your own boss. So you have to be more responsible. There's nobody that's gonna be at your back trying to find out if you like, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? So you have to be your own boss. And I learned a lot through that as well. And you have to learn business skills as well, because you have to be able to sell yourself. You have to be able
Mm.
to sell yourself. You have to be able to pitch. You have to learn how to negotiate with clients as well. So you actually get to learn a lot when you go into freelancing. But for now, I've taken a break from freelancing. I'm actually working for a marketing agency. It's been great as well here. I'm more experienced now than I was back then when I started. It's been great, but I'm learning also new things every day. You'll be surprised that even today I learned something new, because digital marketing is evolving industry. There's always something new, so you just don't stop learning.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think so many of my guests in the past couple of weeks have spoken about like how much their roles have changed, even just in the past couple of months with things like AI, the way that organic search is looking at the moment with all of Google's AI answers and algorithm shifts. It's been a huge time of change, and it feels like the pace is just increasing. Yeah, so I hear you on feeling like you're never quite sure, like what's going to happen today, what new skill am I going to have to pick up. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So Norma, I was going to ask you about kind of your move to freelance, but I'm curious about the transition back into a full-time gig. Was it that, I mean, you've kind of mentioned how as a freelancer there are so many perks. Was it that like a really good gig just came your way, a full-time opportunity at this agency came your way, or did you feel like it was time to step into something a little bit less intense? Because I find freelancing quite intense.
Let me just say that actually a good role came my way. Also, with freelancing, there's a lot of income uncertainty as well. You can go for
Yes,
a month without getting a client. You can go 2 months, you can go 3 months. So it was also becoming a lot for me in a way. And I told myself that, you know what, let me give myself a break. It's not something that I'm saying I'm not going to do anymore. I am going to do because I do get some side gigs as well but I just wanted a full-time job that has a stable salary for me because there's just a lot going on at the moment that needs me to have a stable salary, and I can't wait
for
a
sure.
month or 2 or 3 for a freelancing gig to actually pay me.
No, I hear you. It is relentless. And to your point about you have to be, you're an accountant, you have to be your own salesman. It's a lot. I'd love to find out, like, I think probably folks listening to this, who are kind of mid-level marketers thinking like, wait, I can freelance. If someone who is interested in kind of making that shift, I'd love to find out about the mechanics of that. So where did you find your roles or your freelance gigs, and how did you go about that process?
Okay, so it started with when I still had a full-time job name. There was
Yes.
when I was still in high school, he used to rent our garage at home. He's a fashion designer. So he used to rent
That's
our garage
cool.
at he used to rent our garage at home to actually like make his clothes there and everything. So now when he saw that I was in digital marketing, he got in touch through Facebook and he told me that, hey, I'm actually pretty well now as a fashion designer. I have clients overseas. I have clients in China and Spain and wherever. So I'm doing well, and I'm
Cool.
trying to I'm trying to build a proper brand image, for my company and everything. So but I don't have like a proper budget to go to a marketing agency. So I see you doing this thing and I see you doing it well. So can you please help me? We'll negotiate. We'll see how this goes, and there's possibilities for growth and everything. So we'll see how it goes. So I was like, okay. I took the gig while I was still at my old job. I took the gig, and I started marketing for him, created a Facebook. We started simple. We started with a Facebook page. We started with a Facebook page first, and then we built his page, we built his profile, and um, we just put him out there, just to make people aware of the brand as well. So he was doing so well compared to when he was doing it himself that some of his clients, some friends close to him, started asking him, "Oh, who's helping you with this?" Because
I love
uh,
that.
also doing the graphics by myself. I was using Canva, so Canva is not that
Hey,
bad. Yes, I was
Canva's
using
the best.
and do the graphics. So, people were actually impressed with how his page had improved and all of that. So they started asking him, and, he would refer the people to me and all of that. That's actually how I started getting clients, referrals from him. And then there was one lady in China that also needed services, and he spoke to her about me, and that was actually my first major gig because the pay was good, and I actually got to do a lot as well. Because at the time she had somebody built a website, and I had to help with the search engine optimization and all of that. I had to now help with the Google ads, not only just the social media marketing. So that's actually how I found myself falling in love with freelancing as well.
So what I love about that story is we actually had another recent guest on, Shay, who is a fantastic freelancer. If anybody listening to this wants to check out that episode, do have a little scroll down in our feed. But I love what she said And it's exactly what you said. I think you kind of think people, oh, I need to go on like freelancing jobs boards and I need to, be doing all these things, maybe building a LinkedIn personal brand and whatever. And while all that is great and important and could yield work, the first step should be tapping into your immediate network. And that is exactly what you did, because you never know, friends of friends who is going to need help. And then from there, it kind of snowballs, right? So your first client recommended you to more people and they recommend you to someone else. And I love that organic way you were able to grow your business. I think that's really cool. But now you're back in-house at an agency and you'll probably go back to freelance again one day when the time is right.
Yeah, actually, the whole networking, having people recommend you to clients, it actually helps you to build your profile. You're able to build your portfolio. I'm sorry, you're able to build your portfolio, and you gain more skills while doing that. And in order for you to be able to start landing gigs online as well, like your Upwork. Upwork wants people that are experienced and people that have a proper portfolio, everything. So from there, that's when I went into Upwork as well, and I started landing gigs. Then um, I had to optimize my LinkedIn and everything. And like when your LinkedIn is well optimized and people can see that you actually have the skills they need in order for you to help them grow their business, that's when you start getting like people texting you randomly, "Hey, I saw this and this and this about you. I have this project going on. Are you able to help?" And you'll set up a meeting, and then it goes from there. Sometimes you don't even have to go to Upwork in order for you to land a gig. People just come to you as long as they can see the experience is good and you've been doing well, and you have a proper portfolio that showcases the work that you've done.
So folks who want to go freelance, that is the next step for you. I do. So maybe this will tie into what we've been chatting about now in terms of moving to freelance and moving back to agency. But I would love to find out what advice you would give to someone who is like really early in their career and listening to this and thinking, hey, I want to be like Norma one day. What advice would you give to them?
I would say first you have to start by mastering the fundamentals. Learn everything. Learn SEO. Learn paid ads. Learn content marketing. Learn data analytics. There's so many free courses online. Also, Google has free courses. You can take up those free courses to actually educate yourself, and you need to stay updated as well. Like I said, digital marketing changes very fast. There's changes every day. Every day there's something new. Every day you have to find yourself on social media, following industry leaders to learn things from them. Reading digital marketing blogs, you get to learn a lot from that as well. And you need to leverage on LinkedIn, like we mentioned earlier on, and with social media. With LinkedIn, you're able to share articles, case studies, and all of that. So those things help you position yourself as an authority. Somebody that has diverse knowledge in digital marketing as well. So when they see that, okay, you have knowledge, you're writing articles about digital marketing, it gets people interested as well. And like I mentioned earlier on, you have to understand the business side as well. If you want to go into freelancing, you have to understand that you are your own boss now. You need to learn to be able to sell yourself, pitch yourself. And you need to be able to negotiate as well. So for people that want to go into digital marketing and freelancing, that's all you have to do. You have to master the fundamentals. That's the important stuff. And you can master the fundamentals by actually equipping yourself with these free courses, because they're free, and you get to learn a lot from them. So that's where you have to start. And then you have to gain hands-on experience. You can start by offering free or discounted services to small businesses. You understand, in order for you to be able to build up your portfolio, you can start your own blog. You can run campaigns by yourself, for yourself, to serve yourself out there to the world, and create content to practice. That's just how you learn. And then you need to stay updated with what's happening in the digital world.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you can really upskill yourself if you are hungry enough. And like, I don't know, if the ambition is there, that is really the only thing you need at this point, because there are so many free resources out there. And to your point about marketing yourself as well, that is the best first case study for you, right? Is you treat yourself as if you are your own client.
That's just how you learn. If if you can't market yourself, how is a client going to be able to trust you to market them? It has to start from you first before it goes to the client. If you can't market yourself, then you can't market a business. You can't market another client because you actually don't know how to market if you can't market yourself. So it's important to be able to, put yourself out there.
I love that. I always get really excited when I know one of my guests is saying something that's going to be like super clippable for like social. And I'm like, that was the moment. I'm like, oh, don't interrupt. Don't say anything. That was great. Okay, Norma, I love that. Thank you so much. Along similar lines, what is one thing that you know now that you wish you had known when you first started out your career?
I wish I knew and understood that marketing is more about psychology and strategy than just tools and trends. First of all, you have to understand how you have to understand human behavior, how humans think, because when you start, you actually focus too much on mastering the platforms. That's how I started. I wanted to learn SEO. I wanted to learn how to run an ad. I wanted to learn all of that stuff, forgetting that first I have to understand the client first. Because yes, I can run an ad, but if I don't understand human behavior and storytelling, then I'm not gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna run an ad, but I'm gonna be targeting the wrong people. So you have to like start by understanding consumer psychology and what makes a campaign truly successful. I wish I actually learned that earlier because I made a lot of mistakes because I did not understand human psychology. I did not understand the consumer psychology, how the buyer thinks, what the buyer wants. I wouldn't start by doing the client persona because first of all, you have to understand the client persona before you get to the strategy. So that's the mistake that a lot of us make. We start by wanting, to learn the tools, to learn the trends, and forget the important parts, the consumer psychology. You have to understand that first. And I really wish that now I started by doing that before everything else. But then, like I said, you learn as you grow, and I learned as I grew, and now I understand everything perfectly.
I love that. That is fantastic to hear because yeah, and a lot of that you can't learn. I mean, you can read about it and you can kind of understand it, but a lot of it you don't really learn and like take it in until you see it in practice, until you make a mistake or you see a campaign fail. Is there anything really important that's like kind of on the tip of your tongue right now that you think we haven't touched on in this conversation about helping young South African marketers grow?
Not really, but let me just give out one advice to people that are going to be listening out there, and the young marketers or people that want to find themselves venturing into the marketing industry. They have to understand that not every campaign will succeed. So we must always take our failures as a lesson, because um, every mistake is like a stepping stone. You get to learn. You actually get to learn from your mistakes. You have to make a mistake in order to learn from it. So they should not be afraid of making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, and they have to understand that not every campaign will succeed.
Yeah, be kind to yourself.
Yes, be very kind to yourself. Choose your mental health also above everything else. Your mental health is important because sometimes you find yourself in a job that is like stressing you out, or you find yourself maybe taking more clients at once and now you can't handle everything. You just have to like make sure you balance everything out. It's for the sake of your mental health, because it's important for you to be in the right state of mind in order for you to be able to do the right thing, to do your job perfectly. You have to be in the right state of mind. So you always have to take care of yourself, choose yourself, no matter what, above everything else.
I love that. That is such a fantastic note to end on, Norma. Thank you so, so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it today. And I'm so sorry about all the tech issues. Even, in terms of things that don't go perfectly, podcasts are among those things. We live and we learn. But yeah, I really appreciate you making the time and talking us through everything, Norma. If people want to find you, just to learn from you, or maybe they're looking for a freelance marketing consultant, where is the best place to do it?
On LinkedIn, Nomalanga Dlamini. That's where they can find me. I'm not so much on Facebook. I'm on Facebook for work, not for like personal stuff, but they can find me on LinkedIn. And also, if there are like any companies that need your digital marketing services, they can always check out Wiggle Digital. And, that's how they can also get in touch with me. They can always ask for Norma, or if going through Wiggle Digital is too much work for them, they can just speak to me directly and I'll take them through Wiggle Digital and the services that we're offering. And also, if people want advice as well, they can find me on LinkedIn. It's Nomalanga Dlamini.
Okay, I love that so much. We will include that link and the link to Wiggle as well, which is the agency that you work for currently, in the show notes. If you are listening and you would like to connect with more wonderful folks like Norma and some less exciting folks like myself, we have a wonderful Slack community of South African marketers that we are building as we speak. I'll include that link in the show notes. It would be wonderful to have you. It's all about connecting and learning and growing and just kind of finding other kindred spirits in South Africa. So I really appreciate your time, Norma. Thank you so much. And I will see you on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much for having me as well. Yes, I guess we'll connect on LinkedIn then and we'll take it from there. Thank you so much again, Kirsty, for the rest of your day.